And welcome back to the channel. So we have a slightly different job in the shop here, guys, over here at Rapstars. You can see that Sienna is actually working on decals. This is a very popular service, especially for the mobile detailers out there. And this is actually a mobile detailing truck that we're installing some decals for the customer. One other thing that we wanted to point out were a lot of the mobile detailers, they're very interested in learning about PPF and learning how to install clear bra on various vehicles and adding it to their services that they do, for mobile detailing. So we wanted to share that this customer is actually going to be one of our students, our first student for PPF training. We're not the best out there. However, we can help them get started and get up and running so they could at least be making money off of paint protection film. And we have Sienna over here working on the tailgate section, guys. So one thing that's very, very important about decals is obviously measurements. You got to take measurements, measure like 2-3 times, and then cut ones or apply ones in this case. And the vehicle that we have in the shop today, guys, is a Ford F-150. This has been a pretty popular truck that I've been seeing for a lot of the mobile detailers, just because it has a fair amount of room inside for creature comforts, as well as the bed that you could put all your detailing supplies. This is a 2017 variant, and this is the Ford F-150 Lariat. And this is very important to understand, guys, when you guys are designing decals, because I'll explain one thing very, very shortly. When you're designing decals, obviously the pickup truck's bed is where you're gonna put a lot of graphics and things like that. One thing to keep in mind, guys, is that all the F-150s have different size beds. This is a 5.5-foot bed. So you gotta be understanding that when you have a crew cab like this, or super crew, they call it, you're gonna have a shorter bed. So make sure you take that into account. There are lots and lots of templates out there for designing your commercial graphics. So make sure you guys keep that in mind on which bed size you guys are going with before making your designs. And then one other thing, guys, make sure you guys are using a level or some kind of tool to make sure that you guys are perfectly straight and perpendicular to your body lines. And when you guys are doing decal work, make sure to have a few different spare sets of decals, because it's very, very likely sometimes it does get caught up on the transfer paper and things like that. So it's always nice to have extra lettering and things like that that's handy, so you can finish your job. All right, guys, for this service that we are doing for this customer, we went ahead and charged them $1,850. And that cost includes all of the vinyl and us cutting it out, printing it, and doing all of that and putting it onto the transfer paper and getting it ready for install. So just mind you that includes all of those fees. All right, guys, and we are back. You guys can see that Sienna is taking care of the doors. This vehicle is quite a bit of a challenge because it has quite a bit of hard body lines on these new F-150s, or the newish style F-150s. You guys can see that the customer's business information is clearly displayed on the side of the vehicle. They also did not want to go with like a DOT number because they don't have one. This is a mobile detailing business, so they just wanted to let the customers know that they are a fully insured business. So in case anything goes wrong with their vehicles, this type of information is clearly labeled for their business. And then for the tailgate, you guys can see that it has the customer's logo clearly displayed, as well as a QR code, because a lot of customers that might be following on the rear of the vehicle as well as the side of the vehicle, there would be a clearly legible QR code. A lot of people are just using their phones to get to the websites anyways these days. So I think this is a very, very good way of doing this type of marketing for your business. We have Sienna working on this door decal. This is actually their main company logo that we're putting onto the vehicle. This takes a lot of layers that you're kind of piecing together. So it takes a lot of patience, guys. So make sure you use both a level as well as just take a lot of measurements on gaps and things like that between the letters, because once this is on, you're gonna have to probably trash that and redo it and things like that. And it's just not fun doing a single letter and stuff like that. You'd rather get it all done in one shot. Hey Sienna, so what's your strategy of kind of keeping this all aligned and straight?
You need to measure like many ways.
So many different points on the vehicle?
There are different ways that you can, as much as you can, because otherwise, if you follow one side of measure, you might be
in big trouble.
yeah.
All right guys, and then you guys can see that Sienna is moving on to the lower portion of this logo. This is a lot of layers, so again, alignment is key. Just take your time and make sure you get this straight before you remove that backing paper, because once it's on there, it's really difficult to kind of move it around and kind of work around that. So yeah, she's gonna finish up this left door. We have the other side, the passenger side, to wrap up on this truck, and then we will deliver it back to the customer. All right, welcome back guys. And just like that, we are all wrapped up with this vehicle. You guys can see that the custom decals were applied on the door here, as well as the customer's QR code, which is actually very legible on the tailgate as well as the rear door of this vehicle. This is a mobile detailing rig, so you're gonna want the customer to have your contact information as quickly as possible, and what better way than through a mobile phone and on your camera on the mobile phone. One thing that we did want to make a couple of changes to was the text. The customer was not very fond of the white text. He actually wanted to maybe change things up a little bit. It is going to be an additional cost. However, he wants the kind of more of a 3D effect. So we're going to have to do a little bit of more 3D text art on this type of font so we can get the customer to get exactly what he wants. All right guys, and you guys can see that this vehicle is actually back in the shop, and the reason being is that we actually have these guys in for a PPF training course. So it's gonna be hands-on training using a couple of real-world situations as well as real customer vehicles, because we have several other customer vehicles that are still continuing to come in. So I just wanted to share that this is something that we've been really trying something new here in 2024. And if you guys are interested, feel free to drop a message and we'll be happy to get back to you guys.